Our guest today is Bishop Msafiri Mbilu from the Northeastern Diocese of the Tanzanian Evangelical Lutheran Church. Bishop Msafiri, very nice to have you here.
Thank you so much. I'm glad also to be here.
Yes. Actually, I wanted to ask you another question, but I will ask this question. Does it happen often that bishops in the Lutheran Church in Tanzania are singing? Because we saw you on the stage during the worship, inauguration worship of the Lutheran World Federation Assembly, and you were singing. You were very charismatic, singing, dancing, and so on. Is it happening very often in your church?
Thank you very much for this question. Really, we as bishops, as pastors, we sing in Tanzania. But in my case, I'm really a musician because I studied music at Nairobi Daystar University, and I used to teach music. So I'm really musician, so to say. And the area especially of concentration in music is African traditional music. So I do a lot of this African traditional music, of course, with classic music combining. So we have 27 bishops. They all sing, they know how to sing. But when it comes to the point of becoming a vibrant musician, I can say I represent the group, so to say. That's why I've been sent here as one of the church musicians to participate especially in this LWF General Assembly.
Yes, so you are not the only singing and dancing bishop in the Tanzanian church.
So to say, yeah, we can say so. Yeah, there are some, of course, who can dance, who can sing, but not at this level. I can say that.
Yes, you have also the experience of the European Lutheran churches, yes, and if you compare the spirituality and the liturgy of traditional Lutheran churches in Europe and with your tradition, what's your first commentary on that? What's your first impression?
Really, as you have just said, I have this very long experience with the church here in Europe. As I studied in Germany and in Norway, I know the difference. What I can say, we engage our traditional music very much in our liturgy, in our songs, in our worship, so to say. That's why this, of course, attracts many, especially youth, to come and participate in the church. And you know, our African music, especially, has a very strong rhythm, which can always make you move. You cannot just sit like this and sing. You have to dance, as you have seen in the opening service this morning. You have to move, you have to dance. And this is all over Africa. If you sing a song from Nigeria, from South Africa, from Tanzania, you have to move. If I compare with the European music, where you have to sit and to listen and to sing, that's a big difference. But what I can say, I think it's a good for the church always to motivate young people to come to church so that they can continue, of course, the continuation of the tradition of the church must be carried off by the young generation. That is what I can say.
So it's not only the question of music, is it also the question of the spirit? Behind you there is one of our mottos of this assembly, one spirit. How does it connect with the spirit, with the spiritual aspect of our Lutheran tradition heritage?
Yeah, of course, what I can say, in our African way of worshiping, spirituality is one of the central aspect of our worship, of course, everywhere. But we want to see the possibility of taking this in our bodies, in our thinking, our movement. That's why it engages a lot of musical and dancing in our worship, so to say.
Is it something you learn in the church, or people simply know it from the streets, from their homes, from the parties, and they bring it to the church? Or is it something you have to learn in the church?
I can say both.
Both?
I can say both. Of course, some really learn outside the church, and they bring it into the church. What we do in the church is just to make some limitations not to bring everything from outside. That's why we are theologians, so we can say, no, this is too much. You just, it has to stop here. But they learn also, and we try to teach young people in the church so that they can carry the way of worshiping God from the church as well.
Yes, during the worship we could see this shift, which is more like from the Western tradition, Lutheran tradition, to this African and Asian tradition. We see that this vibrant movement of new spirituality is also part of the Lutheran life of our federation. What I'm trying to ask you, because the Tanzanian church is the second biggest Lutheran church in the world.
Yes.
The first is the Ethiopian Lutheran church, Mekane Jesus.
Yeah.
So, what's the point of being Lutheran in Tanzania? What's the point of being Lutheran in Africa in general?
Yeah, really, being a Lutheran in Tanzania, in Africa, so to say, that means we are united in one body as Lutheran members, as members in the Lutheran family in the world. So in our hymn book, for instance, in Tanzania, we don't only sing this African music. We have a lot of this European music, which of course for us we see it is very, very, very important, very good. For example, the song we just sang in the morning from Luther and Festus book is God. So that is it is included in our music. So when we always sing these songs from Europe, for instance, from Asia, from China, from everywhere, all over the world, we feel as we are in the family, in one body. So we feel like we are united with others, not only as Africans, but we feel like we are united as one body.
Yes, and not only theologians, but also people who are observing the religious life of the world say that the future of Christianity is situated not in Europe, not in the old world, North America, but more like South America and, of course, Africa. So, and in Africa you have many different traditions, not only the Christian family, but also you have the very strong power of Islam, but you have those many different Christian traditions like Orthodox, Roman Catholic, Pentecostals, and so on, and Lutherans. So my question would be, what's the typical flavor of the Lutheran tradition in Tanzania or in Africa elsewhere?
Yeah, really, now we are facing a challenge, so if I can say, because as you have pointed out that we have several and so many religions, not only religious but denominations in Africa. So the Pentecostal movement, somehow it is motivating. You can see that some young people are attracted by some of the traditions of other churches. What we do in Africa is to try, as a Lutheran church, is to make sure that we preserve our inheritance. What we have inherited as Lutherans, we have to preserve that. And one of the point of how to make sure that we preserve that is our liturgy and songs. To keep our liturgy and songs, that's really our inheritance. So it differentiates us from others. And so you can, if you come to our church in Tanzania, you can easily recognize that now I'm in the Lutheran church, and here I'm in another denomination. So that's what we want to preserve. We try to emphasize on that in our church.
The very last question: what can Lutherans from Europe learn from the Lutherans in Tanzania or Africa, and the other way around, what the African churches can learn from the European churches?
Really, we have a lot to learn mutually. We as Africans, we have a lot to learn from the churches here in Europe. And the church in Europe has a lot to learn from our churches in Africa. But I think the most important thing is how we relate with others who are not in our group. How do we welcome them? How do we participate? How do we invite them? Those who are not Lutherans, how do we relate with them? That is a big thing. Of course, in Africa, as you said, we have several religions and denominations, but we live peacefully together. I know it is also coming here in Europe with immigration of other people from other countries, but that is the way really we can also see how to live with people who are different from us. Mm-hmm. That is very important.
Yeah. Perhaps one more question. What's your expectation about this assembly in Krakow in Poland?
Thank you very much. Really, first of all, we are glad that our church, the Lutheran Church worldwide, is growing. We are now 77 million or plus. With this General Assembly, especially with this theme, one body, one spirit, one hope, this theme touches quite a lot of what is happening in the world nowadays. Conflict, when it comes to the point of climate change and preserving the creation of God. It is my hope that we will come with a very strong statement through this assembly to address the world, how to take care of our creation, how to take care of others, and to those who are discriminated in one way. Wars in this world, in Africa and everywhere. Yeah, so this is our hope that after this assembly we will come with a statement which will continue to encourage people, not only Christians, but globally, how to live with others by preserving, of course, and coming with a true unity as we are one body, of course, through one spirit and one hope.
You provoked me to one more question. But as in every family, there are differences. Also in the Lutheran family, there are different views and positions on some matters. Yes, we differ. What would be your idea to tackle problems which differ, which are in which we are not one spirit, which we have perhaps we have this hope to be one spirit and one body, but there are some themes or some topics and problems which we are tackling in a different way and we are differing. What would be your way to solve the problems?
Yeah, first of all, is to understand that we can differ in opinions, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we have the conflict. It is just a difference. You have your opinion, I have my opinion. And to live with that, to accept the difference of others, that is, I think, very important. So someone who is different, has different opinions from my opinions, he's not my enemy. So it's just different opinions. So this is very important in our life, I think. We have to live with people who are different from us without any conflict. So that's what I can really encourage Christians and others in the world to accept those who are also different from themselves. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very nice.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.